Hello year 4, this is part 2 video of lesson 5 unit 8. So get ready with your learner's book, activity book, learner's book page number 118 to 121 and activity book page number 96 to 97 and with your copy book ready on the table. So now we are going to continue the story of activity learner's book, activity 3, page number 120. So we are reading was reading about the stolen of Mona Lisa paintings. Now let's continue the story now. Further research discovered that the unusual guard in the saloon carry was the home one of his children was ill, and his replacement left his post a few minutes around 8 o'clock. So there was a one guard who replaced another one because the who was working a guard that his child was very sick. So they had another in his replacement. Another worker he came in this replacement in his place and he left just few minutes before. Okay, investigator thought someone had made off with the painting between 7 and 8:30 on Monday morning. So the painting was stolen between 7 and 8:30 on Monday morning. Investigator interviewed all the workers in the Louvre and famous fingerprints expert looked for clues too. So the investigator, the people who were investigating about the staying of Mona Lisa painting, they interviewed all the workers and even they call a famous fingerprints experts. Means if you leave anything fingerprints, they will come to know whose fingerprints, which worker it will be. So but they could not find any clue of the thief. 2 years later, the thief made a contact. He contacted a well-known antique dealer called Alfredo Geri. So, not at the time of the when he stole the Mona Lisa painting, he called up after 2 years. To whom? Alfredo Geri. He was the famous antique dealer who was selling all the antique pieces, the old Asian thing he used to sell to the people. So he said he had a stolen Mona Lisa and would sell it to him for 500,000 lire. So he said he has stolen Mona Lisa painting and he wants to sell it for him for the 500,000 lire. Gary agreed to pay the price and arranged to meet the thief in his hotel. So Gary said, okay, I'll pay for the price, no problem. So he arranged for the meeting in the hotel room. The next day, the thief opened the wooden trunk. He took out some old shoes, a pair of trousers and a shirt. So when he opened the trunk, he first took out his pair of shoes, then trousers and a shirt, old shoes. Okay, then he removed a false bottom and a shirt. So he removed a false bottom and a shirt. Then he removed a false bottom and there was the Mona Lisa painting. When he removed his false bottom, he saw the Mona Lisa painting. Gary recognized the Louvre stamp on the back of the painting. This was the real Mona Lisa, Gary. So Gary recognized the Louvre stamp. So there was a stamp of the museum and then he recognized, yeah, this is the original painting. This was the Mona Lisa painting. Gary left the hotel and called the police. The thief, Vincenzo Perugia, was arrested and locked up. So what he did at the same time, the dealer, he called the policeman and police came and arrested the thief. What does the thief mean? Vincenzo Perugia. So his name is Vincenzo Perugia, was arrested in the and locked up. The story of the theft was much simpler than many people thought. Vincenzo Perugia, born in Italy, he was born in Italy, had worked in Paris at Louvre in 1908. Perugia had walked into the museum, noticed the salon carry empty, grabbed the Mona Lisa and gone to the staircase, removed the painting from his frame and run off with the Mona Lisa under his painter's smock. So how he did, he was working in the Louvre museum, okay, in Paris, Louvre, 1901. Perugia, he walked at the museum. He noticed there were no one in the saloon, so he took out the Mona Lisa painting. He went to the staircase and he removed the painting from his frame. So he removed the frame and run with the Mona Lisa painting under the painter's smock. So he went to the painter's smock. So now in next slide you have to answer the questions. Remember the questions they have given in before this And so you need to take out your activity book. Now going to answer this question. So I'm going to ask you the questions. So be ready. Here are the questions. I'm going to ask you the questions. So once you finish, take out your activity book, copy book now to write out the question. When did they notice that the Mona Lisa wasn't there? How long had it been a display in the Lovera? When were investigators called to the museum? How long was the museum closed for? Number 5. What did the visitors do when the museum opened? Number 6. When did the thief make contact? Number 7. Whom did he contact? Number 8. How much money did he want? 9. Where was the Mona Lisa? Number 10. How did Gary know it was the real Mona Lisa? So these are the questions now you're going to answer in your copybook. In the next slide I have given the answer. Check one time, please correct it. The answers are correct or wrong. Now let's go to activity 4. Now read learner's book page number 121. So here read and put the events in the order. Now you have to read again the story. You need to put these events in the correct order. Which one come first, which one comes second. So you need to put all this in the correct order. So read it, put in the correct order which come first, second and third. And if you want to check the answer in the next slide. I have given the answers. But before that, try to do it by yourself. Now go to activity 5, match learner's book page number 121. Match the green time expression in the text with the sentences of. So if you go to 118 to 19, there are the green words. You can see the green words. Okay. Now these are the green words. You need to match to the correct expressions. What are the first number 1? I'll give you one example. The crime wasn't noticed until F the following day. Correct. So you need to write down. So better don't put the lines. You can just better write down here 1 instead of putting the lines. It looks messy. So it's better you put numbers beside the matching it beside the letters here. Okay. So once you finish, try to check the answers in the next slide. So now we'll come back to activity 6 now. Word study, learner's book page number 121. Word study. Match the phrasal verbs in blue in the text with the definition. Now you can, if you go to the story page number 119 to 120, you can see the blue word there. You need to match which is the correct meaning for these sentences with this phrasal verb. So to get, to not to get a caught, to not get caught. So what is this? Which blue word you will match with this? To get away with. Yes, you're right. Now you will do for me 2 to 6 and check your answer in the next slide whether it is correct or wrong. Before try to do it by yourself. Now activity 7, talk, learner's book page number 121. Let's have a chat in this. In pairs, tell the story. What can you remember? Use time expressions, you know, like few days before. If you go to activity 5, there are time expressions. Remember, not in activity 6, there's a time expressions. You can see that they have given a few minutes ago, at 7 o'clock, 1 day before, on Monday morning, on the 24th. This is called a time expression. When you talk about the days, what time the painting have stolen, what time, which day, what hour, few days, few weeks, after 2 years, you know what this all called a time expression. You're talking about days, month and year and time. This is called time expressions. When you talk about day, time, month, hours, this is called a time expression. So now what can you remember? Use a time phrasal verb. So in this, tell me one nice story using the time expressions like what day, when, after 2 years, this time, 7 to 8 time, on Monday morning, on Sunday morning, next day, few hours later. You need to use all these words when you talk about your story. Okay. Now open your activity book page number 96. Read the story on pages 118 to 120 of your learner's book again. Then circle the correct answer. You have to go back to the learner's book for this. Read the story again and circle the correct answer, A or B. Okay, just try to do it this, and once you finish, please correct your answer in the next slide. Now again, activity book page number 97. Activity 2, write, imagine you're a police investigator. You imagine you're police, okay? Complete the police report information from the story. Now, write down when the date of crime it happened, where is the location, which place it happened. Like in, you can say, if you talk about the Mona Lisa painting, which date was on 21st of August, somewhere it happened, and the location was in Paris, Louvre Museum. And time of the crime, what time it happened, when you can write between 7:30 to 8 or something. And description of crime, what happened, when it's stolen, what time it was stolen, you know, everything into write. And eyewitness reports, how he described actually what happened at that time. Okay, eyewitness who says about the crime, like the workers when they explain, when he went to the lower to the saloon, he saw there was no painting on the hanging on the wall. A few later, once it was not there, it was empty. You know, you need to explain, and you need to sign and write your name. And when you finish, please click the picture and send me on the class dojo. And please, uh, if you want to get example, go back to the story, see how they have written the description, everything. Try to get this idea from there and write it down. Now in same activity book page number 97, activity 3, vocabulary, phrasal verbs. So replace the underlined words with the phrasal verb in the correct form. So there are the underlined verbs, it is wrong. You need to replace to the correct word from the take from the box. Like last night a thief entered the National Bank. So in the last night a thief break into the National Bank. So you need to take out, underline the word is wrong. So you need to put in the correct word, choose from this box. Okay. So once you finish, click, check your answers on the next slide and send me the picture on the class. So thank you so much for listening the video. Please, once you finish your, please try to send me all the pictures on the class dojo. And you have any doubt, you can contact me on the class dojo or send me email. Thank you so much.